the best way to prevent the fraud is to understand how it happens. Many frauds are often hidden within the business activities of the companies. In this case, we're going to explore a fraud incident as well as its modus operandi established by us. Let me introduce you to three companies. Maybank Limited. The Maybank Limited is an NBFC company who grants loan as well as perform investment in the other companies. The second is Ferrari Limited. Ferrari Limited is into the infrastructure and who has taken loan from Maybank Limited. And the third company is Mustang Limited. And Mustang Limited is also one of the investment company, and I will explain you the role of Mustang Limited in the later part of this video. It has started with irregularity was noted in Maybank Limited's investment return of procedure, followed by one of the whistleblower complaint received by the audit committee. And audit committee had directed their management to conduct limited forensic examination of this incident, and we were appointed to conduct limited forensic engagement investigation for this incident. Based on some of the material evidence that we have gathered, the management had filed complaint against some suspect to the EOW, and EOW again appointed us to conduct a detailed and complete investigation of this incident. Let us understand how the fraud was designed in order to conceal the loans as well as siphon of the money. Let's go to the visual presentation that I have created. Let us now understand how a 150 crore worth of loan become investment write-off in the books of Maybank. Before we go, let's understand the role of Mustang Limited in this whole modus operandi. So Mustang Limited, being investment company, had invested around 80 crores in Ferrari Limited, as along with some promoters of Ferrari Limited also put some capital into Ferrari Limited, and they have applied for the loan for the NBFC. Then who has granted loan to Ferrari Limited. Now in Act 1, we'll understand how they have siphoned off the money provided by Maybank Limited. So Maybank Limited has granted loan of 150 crore to Ferrari Limited for their railway project. Now out of this 150 crore, 110 crore it was transferred to few vendors, and around 10 vendors were there. So during our documentation review as well as the digital review as well as few interviews with the persons, we have noted that for these 10 vendors there was no RFQ, there was no bidding, there was no tendering, there was no contract available, the work, and there was no work certification available to establish that they have done the work. The work was awarded to them based on the PO only, and there was no system of obviously PO approvals and everything. They were just created one document in order to give them the work. Most importantly, when we have done the digital forensic recovery, there was no any communication were found in the laptop of all the suspect employees. For the other vendors, for the feasibility assessment and everything, we had that communication, but for these 10 vendors, there was no any single communication related to work were identified. Only one email we identified where the managing director of Ferrari Limited had sent one email from his Gmail account to his official email account, sharing the list of these 10 vendors only on the Word file. That's it. Further, out of these 10 vendors, I think 6 to 7 vendors were mainly based on one of the location in India. However, the project was for the other part of the India. When we called the director of these 10 vendors for the questioning and the interview, they have told us that we had further subcontracted this work to the other vendors. When we call that guys, so we have established a 5 layers of this transfer. A vendor A transfer to vendor B transfer to vendor C, and all of the funds now finally parked to one of the entity which belongs to a person who absconded, who did not appear for the questioning, who absconded from India. So this is how the 110 crore were siphoned off from Ferrari Limited. Now Ferrari Limited does not have the money to pay back the loan to Maybank Limited. They were like defaulting, but before account become NPA, they were making some adjustment and making payment towards their interest and the principal portion. Now if the Ferrari Limited becomes NPA in the books of Maybank Limited, then there is a trouble for the Maybank Limited, because they already had crossed their capital adequacy ratio. You would understand the capital adequacy ratio means your safety capital required in order to avoid the future losses. So if you had one more NPA of 150 crores in the books of Maybank Limited, then it would be trouble for Maybank Limited, because then they have to report it to the regulators. So in order to hide this NPA account, what this Maybank Limited has done, so Maybank Limited had purchased the investment from Mustang Limited, who had 80 crores investment in Ferrari Limited, uh, for 166 crore. Now you would question that how the 50 crores, 80 crores investment becomes 166 crore. So Maybank Limited has appointed a valuer to do the valuation of this investment. Obviously, Ferrari Limited has not done sufficient, or I would say not major work, construction work for the railway project. Only 10% of the work had done, but actual value was 50 crore. When we have conducted the digital forensic review of the Maybank's the personnel, what we have noted that they have instructed the valuer that valuation has to be taken as per our satisfaction, right? And they have shared the revised forecast data of the Ferrari Limited in order to make it 166 crore. So they have brought the investment of 80 crores for 166 crore. The money was transferred from Maybank to Mustang Limited, and Mustang has transferred this money to Ferrari Limited. This Ferrari Limited then repaid the loan to Maybank Limited. Let me again explain. Maybank has purchased investment from Mustang Limited, so money will go from Maybank to Mustang. Mustang has transferred this money to Ferrari Limited, and Ferrari Limited has made the repayment of the loan. Now that loan was repaid. Now investment was appearing in the books of Maybank Limited, right? What happened after 2 to 3 years of this investment, because they were not completing the project on time, so government has told and terminated this vendor and has filed a case against this particular vendor and invoked the performance bank guarantee as well. So this Maybank Limited has done the revised valuation, and they have written off this investment in the books of Maybank Limited after 2 to 3 years. And during the return of also write-off also, they have not followed the due policies and the procedures for the investment write-off protocols. And one more fact over here is the treasury and credit head, who was the mastermind of this whole fraud. Uh, his wife was also one of the promoter of this 10, one of the vendor of these 10 companies. In his wife's company, there was a transaction of around 20 to 30 crores were transferred from Ferrari Limited. So he was also involved. So see, this is how they have structured transaction in order to hide the account become NPA, and converted that NPA or the loan account into the investment account in order to conceal the account become NPA. Yeah, this is the like brief case study of the whole modus operandi.